Hey YouTube, Stove Mods here. I recently decided to include some theory lessons, and this is gonna be the first one on grid material. You know, I never build a stove without a grid. I think that's useless to do that, so I always have a grid, and we will start with this one that you can see has round holes. Maybe you have seen the test, and the problem with that one was that lots of ash stay on the grid because it has lots of a surface. Also this one that are made from a lid of a can. The problem with the round holes is that it creates lots of surface and it lets less air through. I'd say round holes are okay, but not perfect. It's always better to have some square holes like this one, but still this one has a lot of surface and creates kind of the same problem. It's better than the one you saw before, but even better, something like that. That is steel, very sturdy, kind of heavy actually if it's really about weight when you have a stove for traveling, but it's quite good. It's really, you can't destroy it, and it has already very little surface, but there's still space for improvement. Once I created this one out of chicken wire. That was a replacement for that one. Maybe you have seen the stove test number 3. That's where I show that. Something made of wire is even better because it almost has no surface for the ash to stay on. But there's something you need to take care of, because wire, like this one, may be galvanized, and that's not good for food because it creates toxins. And for example, if you just want to do barbecue and put your meat directly on the stove, it's not good to have a galvanized grid. So make sure if you use any wired grid that it's not galvanized. It's not good for your health, but that's better. That's a nice wire grid, and the only room for improvement I see there is some grid like that. That's just much tighter, and that's really the material that works best for me. It's not galvanized, and no ash stays on it, but it is really tight, so even if you have tiny sticks, they won't fall through. So in my opinion, that's the best type of grid. It's very light, it's still quite stable, you can't destroy it easily. You won't have a problem with ash staying on there, and it lets lots of air through and no sticks. One more advantage of this type of grid is that you don't need heavy tools to get it in shape, so you can just cut that out with some pliers, and that's really just much easier than using a flex. So much about grids for hobo stoves. I hope it was interesting for you. That was my first theory lesson, and I will have other theory lessons soon.